Angry soldiers in Ivory Coast sealed off access to the second-largest city of Bouaké on Saturday as protests over a pay dispute stretched into a second day despite government warnings of harsh punishments. The revolt began in Bouaké early Friday before spreading quickly, following a pattern similar to a mutiny in January by the same group that paralyzed parts of the West African state and marred its image as a post-war success story. Shops remained closed in Bouaké as soldiers, many of them wearing balaclavas, fired their weapons in the air and patrolled the streets in stolen cars. According to Sergeant Seydou Kone, one of the leaders of the uprising, the soldiers do not want to negotiate with anyone and are ready to fight if attacked. Now, the unrest in Ivory Coast came a day after a spokesperson for soldiers who participated in the January mutiny, which paralyzed parts of the world's top cocoa grower, said the group would forego demands for more money. Security risk and crisis management analyst Femi Aratokun joins me now to share his thoughts on this. Many thanks for joining me on TVC News Hour. Now, this is troubling, I must say, if both parties, that is the government and the mutinying soldiers, say they are not ready to negotiate.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mrs. Shotinwa. This is a very worrying development in West Africa, in Ivory Coast, and at the same time in a very fragile state that Ivory Coast have really found themselves. To start with, when you have mutiny in a country, what exactly are they looking for, or what exactly are their demands? The present administration in Ivory Coast failed to understand how to contain them, and at the same time, how to really, disarm them totally. So this is exactly why they find themselves in a situation whereby they find themselves. If you're trying to, put people back into the community and welcome them to be part of the armed forces in a country like Ivory Coast, there should be some risks to take, and there should be some level of understanding between you and them and the old rebels and the new soldiers as well. But in this situation, Ivory Coast new administration got it so wrong, and this is why they find themselves.
What does your gut tell you? Is this really about unpaid bonuses or a rebellion against Alassane Ouattara?
Oh, well, you see, you don't need to say it's all about pay disputes or this or that one. You are looking for power. You got the power. You went for an election. You got it. You actually helped them. That please help me to get into this position. They did. You've already given them your mandate. You've given them your promises that you know fully well you cannot fulfill. So why did you start in the first place? At the same time, how do you now make sure that they get this remaining half pay? Out of 12 million CFA, you've given them 5 million, remaining 7 million. If you give them the remaining 7 million CFA, do you really think they're not going to come for more? They will, because they have no idea what to do. So this is where they got it so wrong.
All right. Now, are they holding, in your opinion, are they holding Ouattara to ransom, believing since they supported him into power, and so they must share in the spoils of government?
They are actually not looking into sharing part of his government, but what they are looking for is this. Let me put it to you this way. These are lazy boys that have no idea what to even do with the money in the first place. So even if you give them so much thousands of millions, in any way you can see it, they're going to squander it and still come back for more. You know why? They have all these firearms and they have all these instruments with them that they can use to fight back and go back into the bush as well. So right now, what exactly have they done with the one given to them? Can they actually analyze it? They cannot. So even if you give them more than this, they're still going to do anything with it. So at the end of the day, what I think Ivory Coast government should do is this. They need to have an implementation in place, a very strategic plan that will welcome them back into being useful into the community, rather than using them to become military soldiers that they've actually turned them to be.
Well, you're still talking about being useful to the community. The Defense Minister, Alain Richard Donwali, said, and I quote, "Those who don't accept this decision not to negotiate must simply leave the army." How do you see this playing out?
Well, it's not, you see, when you make some statements, you need to really, you need to carefully look at your steps and look at how you're actually constructing those statements. If you want them to leave the military or you want them to stay aside or step aside, what exactly are they going to be doing? You're going to turn them to armed robbers and hooligans or rebels at the end of the day. So there should be an implementation plan into, changing their mentality. It is not there. Their orientation has got to change. It is not really there. There is no skill set for them to even okay, what do you want to do apart from being a military? After all, before they become rebels, they are into one thing or the other. If you want to be a trader, what do you like to trade in? You see, there are so many educational stuff that should be given to them that have not, they've not really thought of. But what they are looking for at first is, how do we secure this power vacuum, which they've actually succeeded in doing. But now those guys are rebelling, they are kind of revolting by that. We need money. They are not even asking for anything. What do they need this money for? Just to live a very high and expensive life. And this is where the government has got it so wrong. Well,
like I said, they probably just simply want to share in the spoils of government. Femi Aratokun, security risk and crisis management analyst. Many thanks for joining me on TVC News.